Grand Rising, wonderful souls, and welcome to Bronwen's Cove Tarot. This is a timeless collective reading on what is coming forward. If you are a new face, welcome in. If you're an old one, welcome back, my lovelies. Nice to see you. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back, soul family. Now, I haven't got my incense burning, so let's burn a little bit of incense. I had a download come to me when I was in the bath last night, and it's to do with the lost memory. There's something, the guides keep coming up with this lost memory. There is a specific time. It says on here, and I have to put as a disclaimer, I'm not a therapist. I am not a therapist. I don't claim to be. Anything that comes up that you feel that may be emotionally triggering or that you feel that you need support with, please make sure that you do gain support from your doctors, that you gain support from your loved ones, or if you need to, that you gain support from a therapist. Because the messages that came through was to go back to a time of your greatest trauma, go back to, it's adolescence for someone here. Someone may have had sleep paralysis or issues with sleep, and there is a need to do some sort of self-hypnosis or self-trance, going into a trance of some sort. Sorry, I've got these earplug things in and they keep slipping out, to bring back lost memories that were stolen. For someone with sleep paralysis, the thing that you saw in the corner of your room, or the thing that you felt that was sitting on your chest, wasn't just a trick of your mind. There's something about it being called, and it's in the Satanic Bible. My guides told me for someone, it's in the Satanic Bible. It is the daughter of something, and it was called purposely. I don't know if somebody has a fear of drowning, or if someone has a fear of water, or if when they were a child they had a fear of water, or there's an element. Because what I got was a collective message was the one catalyst or canon event at an early age. What element was present? Was it water, fire, wind, or earth? This is where your power is held, and this is what is being suppressed by fear. So if you are scared of drowning, it's because the water itself is the element that you work the most with, and someone has been, and I had a collective effort of whoever it is that's placed fear in you from when you were very young, because not only are you fearing that element, you're fearing yourself, you're fearing your own power. So let's get into this. Let's see where this takes us. Let me place this one over here, and I will be ringing my bell also to cleanse the space. If you find the sound or frequency of bells, they irritate your ears or hurt your ears, please turn down your volume now. So, because I've got on here for someone specifically, drowning, fear of drowning in an alternate dimension or in past lives. And the very thing that brings you power is the same thing that was used against you to suppress your power and your memories yourself. The human mind contains the multiverse with forking paths waiting to be imagined and walked upon. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to pop this to the side. Where do you want me to go? Which side? This one or that one? 1 or 2 or 3? 2. 1. Okay, so let's see. Tell us more about this lost memory and the elements. Lost memory and the elements. The moon and the Page of Swords, exactly. This is about your emotions and how your emotions are connected. Because the thing is, there was a test that was done a really long time ago by a Japanese scientist about how water holds memory, and he had a load of volunteers speak into different bottles of water or containers of water, and they were separated into two different teams. One team were expressing words of joy and love and high vibrational kind of things, and the other group was expressing words of hate, of bigotry, of racism, of anger, all low vibrational and more volatile energies. And then he froze each of those containers and then looked at them underneath a microscope, and the patterns that were created from the side that was more high vibrational to the part that was, to the teams of water that was low vibrational, was so vastly different in that the high vibrationals, words of love, of wisdom, of kindness, of support, they all were individual. They weren't the same, but they were beautifully intricate. They were beautifully kind of mapped out. And the ones where it had hate and racism and argumentativeness and anger and, you know, volatility, they weren't creating patterns. It was like splatters everywhere. So there is definitely this connection between our energy and our vibration and how that is felt and held through water. And you have here the moon to the Page of Swords. Someone was definitely trying to block the way that you feel or communicate to yourself, especially through your emotions, especially through water. For someone here, specifically water. Why is water so important? Why is water? Why is the element water so important? King of Wands to the Two of Chalices. The element of water seems to be how many people divine or divinate or gain visions or gain downloads. You have the Two of Chalices coming out. This is about a complete balance. And the King of Wands. I feel like for someone here, they are a conduit. Someone could be a Reiki master or is interested in becoming a Reiki master, and water will help you. Either doing Reiki when you're in the shower or Reiki in the bath. I had two minds as one. King of Chalices. You've got the King of Wands and the King of Chalices. Yeah, there's something to do with blessing water or holy water. Why is that important? I've got these earplugs in and they get really itchy, but they're really good for like toning down certain frequencies around me. So if you see me poking my ear, it's not me just being weird. I am actually doing something. Tell me more about the King of Chalices to the Two of Chalices to the King of Wands, Queen of Chalices. Someone was definitely trying to block the growth of your compassion. Are you investing in that? Because I feel like this memory is connected to, I heard, like a duality or a past life. And that last part of this message that came through, the human mind contains the multiverse within forking paths, with forking paths waiting to be imagined and walked upon. Because when you think about it, like every choice that we make then splits off. Like if we have the multiverse and the multiverse is literally stacked on top of each other, the Bronwen that's sitting here now, if I had chosen to make a cup of tea rather than a cup of coffee, I may actually be talking about something different. There's always those forks that are happening, those choices that are happening. The Lovers. I knew this was something to do with connecting with people or connecting with the right one is what I keep hearing. Because the Lovers is in reverse and the Queen of Chalices is in reverse. This, I don't know if someone had sleep paralysis for a long time or somebody had nightmares for a very long time, or they had them at an age that was kind of strange to be having them. Like, you know, kids have nightmares when they're really little, and sleep paralysis can come in when you're a tween, usually. I don't know that much about it, but there's something about the age in which this was done and for how long it was done. It was placing fear. And when you think of chalices is all to do with emotions, but it's also water, isn't it? This was having someone fearing their own emotions, fearing love, fearing how they express themselves, fearing soul family, maybe even fearing spirituality, being scared of things that go bump in the night. Eight of Swords, yeah, trying to trap them. This King of Wands energy's been trapped. This was trapping. They were working together to trap that ambition that someone has within them. What have we got here? The Tower in reverse, the Strength in reverse, and the Page of Wands. This was done at a very young age. The King of Chalices, like the Tower to the King of Chalices. This was done at a very young age. If someone's had repeating dreams as well, or repeating nightmares, or repeating kind of theme over a period of time when they were younger, this was spell work that was done over and over and over and over again, because the Tower in reverse, to me, the Tower is the ending of something, you know, the ending of one cycle so a new one can begin. And sometimes they can be uncomfortable, but everything crashes down to the ground so that you can rebuild with what it is that you need rather than what it is as the illusion that we think we need. With it in reverse, this is like a continued oppression, continuously going down the wrong path purposely. But with the King of Chalices there as well, this is like a redirection at a young age of how someone perceived love, or how they should give love. Because, you know, or how they should take love. Because the King of Chalices, that is a very masculine, divine masculine energy of taking, and divine feminine is receiving. This somebody was, I keep hearing a collective or a joint effort. That Three of Pentacles coming out. Someone was collaborating on working very hard and diligently to block off someone's divine masculine, to stop them wanting to go after healthy relationships, to always fall into that kind of like patterning of going for somebody who's emotionally unavailable, or emotionally distant, or emotionally stunted. Queen of Chalices in reverse, who isn't receptive, and to ignore their own wounds because they wouldn't see them. To what end? Because you've got Strength here to the Page of Wands, to allow other people to energy harvest from them. And there's also this energy of kind of being a bit irresponsible and really easily suggestible and almost like spontaneous. Like, I don't know if someone always felt like there was a bit of an empty void when it came to love, or how they loved, or why they weren't being loved. So they sought it out, but they sought it out in places that were not for them. Or they do things that would actually put them in danger. Or they date people, like maybe go online, let's say an online dating, and never met the person before, but quite happily go meet them on a dark night, you know, on the corner of so-and-so. There was something that was put in there to make that someone's nature. Yeah, and they continued doing this for a really long time, because the Eight of Swords in reverse, not the Eight of Swords in reverse, death. This is about an ending of a cycle. They were holding on and trapping someone. Three of Swords. It brought them healing. I don't know. This is energy harvesting. This is definitely energy harvesting. Page of Chalices in reverse. This is energy harvesting. And it's also, there again, there's some sort of illusion that was placed over someone's eyes to constantly be like the chaser in a relationship. To constantly be like putting up with negative attributes that come from romantic relationships, comes from friendship circles, of being like not the butt of the joke, but kind of like, it's fine, that person's reliable, it doesn't matter if we let that person down, they'll still come back. Or it's fine if I don't respect that person, because you know what, I just have to say sorry and they'll come back, they'll bounce back. Oh, it's fine, I don't have to pay that person back, because do you know what, if I just ignore it or pretend that I don't have the money, they'll be fine, and then next week I can ask them for money again. There was something here about disempowering the collective. It's that difference between like being an empowered and disempowered empath, and we all start at some point as being a disempowered empath, because, you know, especially if you feel really greatly for others and you want to help others, when you're young we don't have boundaries until we learn what they are. And you know, you learn boundaries from experience. You learn boundaries also by the relationships that you have with your caregivers, with your family. And if there aren't any there, then it's something that you have to cultivate and learn through trial and error. And someone here was a walkover. They were a doormat. And that's not me criticising it in any way, shape or form. It's just the way it is. Until they became empowered, until they reclaimed their energy back, until they were like, this is not happening anymore. I'm worth more. I'm not being walked on. I'm not going to be a yes man, he, she or they. You've got the Page of Pentacles coming out. We've had a lot of pages. So this is definitely to do with childhood. And this is very much whatever was done in, it's almost like the haze of memory of when we were young. And it can be anywhere between, because I've got 14 years old for someone specifically, but it can be younger. I don't think it's older, but it can be younger. And the younger we go in those ages, the less we remember. Like, no one remembers being 5. You know, you may have like a bleary-eyed, kind of blurred, slightly nostalgic idea of something from when you were 5 or 6, but we don't have clear-cut memories. And the ones that we do, every time that we recount that, we're recounting the last time that we remembered it, not the actual memory. So it actually changes as we go along. There's something about placing that illusion on someone very young, very vulnerable, and someone very innocent, because of the light that they shone and because of the potential they had to become who they are becoming now. And I heard all for money, because you've got the 5 of chalices here in reverse. And you've got to remember that there's something here about the thing in the corner of the room is known in Satanic Bible, my guides told me. Because when I was sat in the bar, it came to me. I was just like, what the F is going on here? And I was like, okay, is this thing that, because I know that like with like sleep paralysis, a lot of people experience or state that they experience either something sitting on their chest or something in the corner of the room, or just this feeling of impenetrable doom, like they're in danger because you can't flip and move. But you are completely, you know, conscious. And sometimes your eyes can be closed. And the energy of whatever it is that was in the corner of the room or on that person's chest, it came to me in a vision, and it was a girl. And the girl looks a little bit like the girl from The Grudge, or The Ring, where she climbs out of the well and you don't really see her face, but she was completely ashen black. And I do not mean that she had brown skin. I mean that she was black as in she was painted black, but almost like she had been burnt, and that was the smouldering coals, you know, when they go out and they're just black. And or oil, or some sort of like oil all over her, like that colour, just completely black. And her hair was really long and stringy, and the only thing that were really bulbous were her eyes and the red around her eyes, and she was grinning. And I asked my guides, I was like, okay, so this energy, is this energy from another realm? And I was told, yes. Is this energy from an old, ancient kind of culture? I was told, yes. But I was told that it is used in modern society. And then I started asking, okay, so is it used in cults? Yes. Is it? And then I was shown a black book that's supposed, and I was told it was a Bible, and I knew it wasn't a Bible, and it had an inverted pentacle on it, and it had like, I don't know what animal it was on top of it as well. And I was like, okay, this is giving me really like demonic vibes. And that's when I was told by my guides this exactly thing. It's known in the Satanic Bible. So someone's called this up. There's an energy of this being called up. Why? Because you've got the 4 of chalices in reverse to the Hanged Man. This is like information on this is coming forward. And I heard some of it may be painful when these memories come back, but they're necessary for you to heal. Because this is like a karmic release. Page of Wands. There's so many pages out here. There's no way that this couldn't have happened when someone was a child, or to multiple children. Because if this is energy harvesting, it's giving me the energy of one of the readings that I did where I had a download of rushing to get to this church and having to go up this staircase. And when I got there, it was like we were in the 1940s, and all of the minorities, the people that were, you know, of colour, were being pushed to the back of this room with all these children in the middle. And I remember the children having gifts of some sort, and I knew that we were all in danger, and we had to come out, and we had to push past all of these white dudes that looked like the fat controller from Thomas the Tank Engine, all wearing like smoking jackets, and we had to run. We had to get out of there, because there's some sort of like group energy harvesting that happened to specific people in the collective when they were children, and the memory's been taken away. because of who you are or because of who you're going to become. And for those who have had issues when it comes to karmic cycles or constant karmic cycles or constant, almost like having to build yourself up, getting to a certain level, and then everything crashing down, major towers, major life changing towers, whether that be in your health, be that your finance, your relationships, job, whatever that is, and then having to start from scratch again, building yourself up again and going, oh my gosh, here's another tower, it's happening again. Specific people, that doesn't happen to everyone. That's not happening to everyone across the globe. That is happening to a select amount. Because I keep hearing 144. These are the people that have a specific purpose, and your purpose would have been actualized and realized sooner if they hadn't have done what they did. The Two of Chalices to the Three of Pentacles to the Three of Swords. There is a connection or an alignment that is coming in between two energies, two souls, a union of some sort, a collaboration that is going to heal not only yourself and them, but the people around you. And they knew this. They knew this. I feel like they knew that at some point the jig would be up. At some point the blockage would be removed, or the memory would be removed, or they didn't think that you'd be able to access this memory. They knew what they were doing, is what I'm hearing. Family members knew what they were doing. If they are involved, they knew what they were doing. And they kept it hidden. They kept their involvement hidden with the Two of Wands in reverse and the Sun. They purposely did this to stop some sort of healing, some sort of growth to a load of children. It's not just, if this resonates for you, please remember that my readings are for confirmation of what you already intuitively know. If this is like news to you, or this is shocking, or this is worrying or confusing, then this reading isn't for you, and that's absolutely fine. Not all of my readings are going to be for you. The ones, oh goodness, if it doesn't resonate for you, it will resonate for someone else. Let's see if I can try and get this card. Four of Swords. This is taking... You've got strength here as well. Page of Swords in reverse. Queen of Chalices. There was a lot. It was done to have you either armour yourself. And armouring comes in the form of, like, when you think of children, when they're very young, they are the centre of their own universe because they don't really know the wider community. They only know the community that, you know, their caregivers or their parents or their friends introduced to them. And when you're very, very small, what is happening around you, you feel like it's a direct cause because of you. So if you are around people that are shouting or arguing, or you don't feel safe in your environment, no matter what that is, the Divine Feminine will create a story of, well, this must be happening. Mummy or daddy or whoever must be upset because I did something wrong. So I need to change what I'm doing so that they're happy with me, or they're happy with each other. But the Divine Masculine will go into overdrive because the Divine Masculine is about guarding and protection, and it will shut down. And there's an energy here of trying to shut down something within specific people in the collective. What is it that they were shutting down? Eight of Pentacles to the Knight of Wands. I heard the ordinary. There's something about wanting, yeah, and Temperance is in reverse. The Knight of Wands is in reverse. You've got the King of Wands up there. It's almost that energy of, like, when you're told the story of Icarus, and how Icarus, you know, the story that we are told is that Icarus flew too high to the sun. He got burnt and he fell into the sea and died. And that's the story that they go with, when really the story of Icarus is that his father told him, do not fly too high to the sun, because it will melt the wax in your wings and you will surely perish. And do not fly too low to the sea, for the foam will weigh down your feathers and drown you. Fly straight, fly steady, stay focused. They only tell you part of that because it is part of a grander scheme of keeping people asleep, keeping people lame, keeping them in their lane, not questioning. Get one job, work that whole job, buy things that you put in your home, and then when you pass away, those things then get sold and the next person, conveyor belt. This is almost like them trying to do this to you or the person you're thinking of. Stick you in a peg, and then the next peg, and then the next peg, like a factory line, but you don't fit in a peg. It's like putting a square peg in a round hole. It doesn't fit that way. So something was taken so they could continue to, it's like keeping you asleep, because if you wake up, you're too bright, and you shine a light on what's happening. Because this healing, this union, this connection, I had, it spans lifetimes. It spans lifetime, or it spans alternate realities. And that was something that came up as well. Something about the drowning, fear of drowning in an alternate dimension and in past lives. So I don't know if the memory that has been blocked is the memory from this life. It can be a memory from past life, or it can be a memory of an alternate version of yourself that is gifting you something. They could be gifting you an actual gift. My understanding is that with alternate realities, and this is my understanding, it's not truth, it's not fact, this is just my understanding, that you have dimensions that are right, they're more or less on top of each other. I can't really show that with cards, but if you have, let's say, 3 dimensions, you have the dimension we're in, which is the middle card there, and you have another dimension here and another dimension there, and we're all stacked on top of each other. You will have a Bronwen, me that's talking right now, hello, 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 and then you'll have a Bronwen that is very similar to me, maybe even sitting where I'm sitting right now, but her top is blue, and you know, her dad's not from the Caribbean, her dad's Irish, but she still looks very much like me. And then you have a Bronwen on this side who's full on Catalonian, you know, and is wearing a purple top, and they're all squished on top of each other. They all have very similar memories, very similar upbringings, but there's slightly things that are different. If this one over here ends up in an accident and passes away, energy cannot be destroyed. It can be manipulated, but it cannot be destroyed. So the energy of the Bronwen in this dimension passes over to me. And then I'm, you know, and if I was to pass away or whatever, then the energy from those two go over to the nearest one, which is the one over here that's Catalonian completely, you know. And then we have the things like, that's my understanding of the Mandela effect, where there are some people that understand that in the 80s, Nelson Mandela died in prison. He was gone, but he didn't. He literally didn't. And there is a massive group of people who are like, but I remember this. This is not your memory. It's the memory of someone in an alternate dimension. I hope I haven't lost you with that, because what I'm saying here is there is a memory here that needs to be passed over. And I don't know if what they were doing with this sleep paralysis or weird dreams or something going on when someone was a teen, where this multidimensional aspect of yourself in this other dimension has been holding a memory that they don't even realize they have, and it's going to be unlocked. Literally going to be unlocked, because you've got here 5 of Wands, and someone does not want this happening. This is why someone's had so much struggle in their life, and I feel like when this activation comes in, it elevates you. I heard beyond brightness. There's something about your energy field will burn like the sun. 4 of Pentacles, so they've been trying to keep control of this. But I'm getting that there is a connection. There's someone in the family unit, be that the nucleus or the extended, that was aware of this. I heard sold their soul. They sold their soul, and they did this with awareness of what was happening, because it brought them in unbridled love, or it brought them in. It's almost like the myth of going to a crossroads somewhere in Louisiana, isn't it? Where you can meet the crossroads demon and sell your soul for 20 years of fame, or for 20 years of love or success, or whatever it is. It's that energy, and they were fully aware of what they were sacrificing and did it anyway. And you got the 4 of Wands in reverse to bring an instability, to make it so difficult for you and someone else to come into union. They may not have even realized at the time that they themselves were a pawn, because they were greedy. That actually the powers that be, these darker powers that be, wanted it so that you and whoever this person is, this 2 of Chalices, the 2 people clinking their cups together, that you two together, there's something about making a mark on history the same way that water holds memory. Water is really important to someone here. It won't always be water for others. There's an element, whatever element it is, that's very clear to you when it comes to thinking of like a canon event for you. For some people, like I have a friend who when she was about 14, 13, she woke up to a fireman carrying her out of her home because there'd been an electric fire. She woke up and there were flames everywhere, and that was a canon event for her because that is extremely scary. So it could be fire, it could be earth, it could be wind, but I'm picking up a lot of water for someone here, and there's a need to face a fear when it comes to water, whether that is if you're scared to swim, if you don't know how to swim. It could be that you do have a memory of drowning or not wanting to put your head underwater. There is an encouragement. But make sure if you do have a genuine phobia or you have a genuine fear of certain elements, that you do that with a licensed therapist, okay? Everything that comes up in my readings, as much as it is, I'm only a channel and a messenger, I have to state legally that this is for entertainment purposes only. So any advice you take from here, I strongly suggest that you don't take it until you've spoken to your therapist. Especially if you have a fear of certain elements, okay? But facing that fear with a support network is going to access this and bring back this memory. 7 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles in reverse, 6 of Pentacles. Someone purposely, actively blocking your way, deceitfully, leaving you high and dry, knowing why you went through so much pain in your life, knowing why you were so broke poor, someone here, to the point of homelessness for someone here, living out your car, living on the streets, whatever that may be, because of them selling you down the river to whoever it is that they sold you down the river for, so that they could get their piece of gold and silver. Treacherous, absolutely treacherous. This is the reason in the past that everything that someone has tried to do has failed in some way. It could be that you try to work out, and every time you work out, you injure yourself. Every time that you start a new job, you end up with an awful manager, or it's very stressed. Every time you're trying to get, seek help or something for your mental health, you're shot down or you're dismissed or you're medically gaslit. Whatever it is for you, it could just be every relationship you get into, you end up with an emotionally stunted person. There have been, of course, we have to take responsibility and be responsible for our own actions, because we co-create the experiences that we go through. Things don't just happen to us, but there's also this element of this energy also being placed on someone. This is like this came out before, like a generational curse of some sort. This has been lifted. This literally has been lifted. Now this is just looking at removing some sort of, why am I hearing like popping the cork off like a champagne bottle? And that memory flooding back, but it's not just a memory, it's like an access code that connects you into the divine in a way that whoever it is that was blocking you and the energy that was feeding from that cannot stop you. They fear you. And I think they feared you as a child. 5 of Chalices to the 5 of Pentacles. They feared you because they had nothing and you didn't. And I don't know if somebody was brought up in poverty, and it was almost like when you're a child, you see things in black and white, in that, you either had a happy childhood or you didn't. And I don't know if I'm explaining that properly. Like when it comes to like finances or being poor or things like that, unless your parents are constantly talking about money or not having money, you wouldn't know. You literally wouldn't know. So this 5 of Pentacles to the 5 of Cups is like someone here grew up with very humble beginnings, but that didn't stop them from going forward. And that is where this energy of King of Wands is coming in. This ambition to do better, this ambition to show up. And somebody was bound for a really long time, A really, really flipping long time. And bound away from your guides. Bound away from your guides. Like locked up away from your guides. Like your guides banging on one side of like, soundproof glass. And you're just working away. And I don't know if when you or the person you're thinking of had your first spiritual awakening, this is when whoever it is in the family and whoever it is that they were working with or sacrificed you or your energy to started to panic. Because they were like, no, this is not supposed to happen. This person's supposed to stay in their lane. They're supposed to stay asleep. What's going on here? How are they waking up? What on earth? We need to control this. And it came up in one of my other readings that every year they had to give an offering. So I don't know if that offering had to be upped or what was going on there. But through it all, through the Five of Pentacles, through having nothing, you still found something. Even through instability, I heard through instability someone found God or someone found Allah or someone found divine source. They found it. They found it. They found the balance. Even when things weren't moving. It doesn't mean that we didn't go through our, all the ranges of the human emotions, because we are spiritual beings in the vessel of a human. We still have those feelings. We still, fall and end up at rock bottom, but it's whether or not we pick ourselves up again. And they saw the strength, the authentic strength within you that they were scared of, or whatever it is that they sold their soul to, more or less. That was frightened of you. Because look at you now. Look at the ambition you have now. Nothing can stop you. And you've got here 5 of chalices in reverse. See, even in times of instability, even in times of delay, there was still healing coming in. And someone has already had this change in perception that, look, if there's a delay, it could be delay in finances. It could be delay in being in a relationship. It could be a delay in getting a job. It's supposed to be delayed. I'm supposed to rest. I'm supposed to pause. I'm supposed to learn something right now. This is what they didn't want. And there's a family member here, and I don't know why I'm getting like an aunt or a mother or a grandmother. I'm getting a feminine energy, like a matriarch. They didn't want you getting this. They didn't want you getting this far. They didn't want you getting this far. And there's been some nefarious-ish going down towards a high priest or high priestess. Maybe they were told when you were very, very young that you held this ability and that jealousy was unreal. They lied about this. Yeah, look, Ten of Swords, Ace of Swords, but Ten of Swords energy. They lied about this because you've got 10 of Pentacles. They lied. 10 of Swords is right underneath as well. They lied about being in a happy family. How can you be jealous of a small child? How can you be jealous of a small child? That's crazy. The wickedness, the actual wickedness. Because this person is greedy. I heard this person is greedy. Look, adjacent possibilities. This is a definite. Greedy-minded people. Wow. So what else is needed right now? I had a time for spirit. This is a time to go within, because the answers you need are coming. I heard at your own pace, so there's no rush. It will come when it needs to. What's happening to this family member? Look, they're thinking, man, this is deceit. It's just deceit. And for someone specific, they packed your lunch when you were a kid. And you have romance coming out. So this is something else that was kind of... that they were purposely, whatever it was that was worked upon you when it comes to hexes or magic or whatever it was also a fear of intimacy or a fear of being open. And it's almost like it was building up to more or less now, in that there is definitely someone coming in for union, a divine counterpart of some sort. But when you look back at the pattern of people that you've fallen in love with or given your heart to, a lot of them are going to be the lovers in reverse, and that will resonate with who it resonates with, which is almost like this is something that has been why am I want to say prophesied or preordained. Something was written already about specific people in the collective meeting and coming into union with someone at a specific age or at a specific time. I don't know if this family member knew this. I honestly feel like this person was used for their greed and their jealousy. But other people knew. And it's taking me back to that satanic Bible. Someone knew. And they didn't want you being in union. So it was like, let's play the long game. When they're 8 or when they're 14 or when they're this and this for this long, for 6 months, for 5 months, for a year, let's give them sleep paralysis. Let's do this spell work through nightmares or through whatever it is. And we're going to place in there that every single person they give their heart to is going to F them over. Or every time they try to, improve their body, they're going to get hurt. Or every time, so that it creates that kind of fallacy within us that if we try, we're going to fall and there's no point trying. So that when we get to that certain age, that era, whatever's been prophesied, and this person comes in or this opportunity comes in, we're like, well, what's the point? Why try? It's gonna fail anyway. And I heard jokes on you, because they didn't expect for something to be unbound when it comes to your strength of perseverance, when it comes to your hope, when it comes to your faith, and when it comes to you having that spiritual awakening. Look, self-sabotage upside down. Something that was supposed to either keep you laying down, keeping you complacent, gave you strength. And it shook them. It shook them. Door to personal healing and happiness. They were expecting you to be small and sad and depressed and staying in your lane and in a job that you hate, in a relationship that's subpar, whatever it may be. They wanted a high priest or high priestess to stay in some sort of illusion, to not grow. They didn't realize. They didn't know who you were. Of course they didn't. Because the devil comes in many forms. Or demons come in many forms, and they're not going to tell you everything, are they? They're just going to look at what it is that you want the most, and they've picked someone in the family unit who was greedy, who was jealous, who was unhealed, and said, well, let's go for that person there. We'll be able to get to collective through this person. Oh, you want to have a house, or you want inheritance, or you want this money, or you want blah blah blah. Yeah, you can have that. But you just need to sacrifice something for us. We want that person there. We want that baby. We want that child. And they're like, yeah, here you go. Not even looking to see. Because I feel like someone had a reading done on them when they were a child. And whoever it is that read them didn't tell them the whole truth. They were just like, look, you've got here, defend, accept, let your feelings tell you how to. The moon underneath. They told them, they were like, yeah, she's, that person, they've got potential. But didn't tell them that person is a healer of all ages. That person can become an ascendant master. That person may become a spiritual guru. That person's going to be a high priest or high priestess. No. There's no benefit in them telling them that, because then maybe they'd ask for more. Hold your vision is upside down. And hold your vision is going over the door to romance. They wanted you to sabotage this yourself. What else needs to come out? For seasons. They've been doing this for seasons. A time for healing, exactly. This is like periodically sending things, but doing it in a subtle way so that you don't realise, or they thought you didn't realise. And I heard up the ante. So they may be upping the ante at this time because you're close to achieving something. Yeah, upping the ante. You've got alchemy in reverse. Okay, why are they upping the ante right now? Why? To see, they need to keep themselves hidden. And this is not just a family member. Whoever. Apologies for that. I ran out of space on my laptop and I just had to rejig some stuff. But what I was saying is, there's a reason why they've been upping the ante. You're close to healing something, or you have healed something. And you're about to have some sort of upload or upgrade, which means that the deceit that they've been hiding behind, I don't know why the light's gone so weird, But the deceit that they've been hiding behind, people are going to know. And it's not just that they're going to know, like, family members. I think it opens up like a paper trail of some sort to whatever cult, circle, coven, whatever group they worked with all that many moons before, depending on how old you are. And whoever it is, they work on the fact or the premise that they are quiet, that people do not know them, or there's no way to connect to them. But they now have a loose end, which is a family member. It's family member. Tell me more about this. Bride in the Cage. So they've been doing some sort of spell, because this is like my love spell card. They may have been doing this towards you to bind you to the wrong people, or doing this towards whoever your divine counterpart is to bind them to karmic situations. But I feel like there's a paper trail in scamming something. Yeah, it looked all tied up. But they've tied themselves to something. And there's evidence. There's some sort of evidence that ties them to large institutions or overwhelming events. Exactly. And it will end them. It will expose them. It will show that they've been working with them in some way to make, look, feeling safe in reverse. So they're quite worried. Someone here is worried. Who's worried? Who is it that's worried? Who's worried? A whole flipping community is worried. A whole community is anxious. They are worried. A whole community is invested in this. Moon, yeah, they're all in their feelings. They're trying to dodge some sort of storm that's coming, which is why they don't want you remembering, why they don't want you accessing. I had patient records for someone. Patient records. What patient records? What patient records? Gemini. What you want to be known, what is believed about, use the quickest way out. So they may be getting rid of evidence. I don't know if maybe you had a hospital stay when you were a child. The extraordinary power of prayer, the highest and lowest aspects of control the situation, and then you also have the 11th house. For humanity's sake, your hopes and wishes, do it for the future. So there is a group of people who may have come and checked on someone when they were in hospital. I don't know if when you were a child you had to visit hospital, when you were a teen you did, or if when you were a teen someone passed away in hospital. Could have been a grandparent, something along those lines. They want to control this situation. They don't want you remembering certain things. For the future. They did it for their future. A win-win forecast. This outcome is upside down. Why is it upside down? Why is it upside down? Financial constraints. Because someone is going to be awarded a lot of money. This has got many layers to it. Many layers, because this is about a spiritual awakening. This is about an activation, but this is also the price that was paid on your head for what it was that they wanted, family wise, what they wanted, whether that was money, whether that was a home or estate, whether that is like this insurance, life insurance, or will and testament. There is a lot that is owed, and there's a lot that is going to be paid back in this realm as well as others. Let me see what that is. Downcast pride. Someone's too prideful. The temple of my body. This is affecting someone's health. It's already being sent back. There is this energy of control or hoarding, or the chaos that has been sent out is now being shown in somebody's health. Okay, in their core. There's something wrong with someone's stomach, with their back, their energy levels. This person has people fighting around them, or they're seeing a lot of signs of chaos around them. So they know. It's almost like this is like they were warned or something, or they were told, like, if this child regains consciousness, like Christ consciousness, like oneness consciousness, these are the signs to look out for. These are what you should be looking out for. This is how I'm going to guide you now in knowing if you need to do extra work later. And they're already seeing these signs. They're seeing their health going. Someone's passed away in the family, or someone's going to pass away in the family. Cherish, enjoy, charm, art, beauty are the way to. So it was also something to do with the way that you looked. If people start commenting on how beautiful you are, or handsome you are, or how attractive you are looking, they know that they've done something wrong, or it's out of control. It's out of their hands now. Peaceful amongst the thorns. They'll know that you've woken up, that you're no longer caged, that you're no longer, staying like a damp squib, or, you know, staying in your lane, believing only half the story of Icarus, not wanting to fly too high. Ninth house, yeah. They now realize that you have access some sort of higher learning or higher knowledge that you cannot find in books, that you cannot find in a college. It's something that has been gifted to you from your Akashic records, as if it or they came from all there is. The philosophies and laws involved do it in a big way. Conclusions are within reach. Look at that. Third chakra, Archangel Chamuel, because your memories from childhood are coming back. I don't know why it's gone so bright all of a sudden, but your memories from childhood are coming back. They're activating. And it can go one of two ways. Let's have a look. They want it to go this way, blinded to pain. There's something here about talking about how do they blind you spiritually? How do they stop you from seeing who they are exactly? How do they stop the authorities from seeing who they are and what they've done? And I heard too many children. It's not just you, to many children. Too many, many children. Dimming their lights, trapping them. Liberation in reverse. To adjacent possibilities is you get the answers that you need, or they get to hide, but the answers are coming to you, and they will come to you through rest. The daughter spirit is open. It comes to you through rest, through rejuvenation, through meditation, through that type of communication with spirit. And it says here, immediately the way you project yourself, do it on your own. So someone is being asked to meditate and give thanks for the daughter value that has opened for you when it comes to your finances, when it comes to the success that's coming to you, and the person that you're going to become as a person of power and status. And you've got Capricorn underneath. Exactly. Wow. And they're worried because they're seeing these signs. They're seeing that you haven't been blocked, you haven't been stopped. You were just laying dormant. Literally, your guides were biding their time until they knew that you would be ready to have your first spiritual awakening, to be open to, you know, faith, to hope, to joy. For someone here, there was a really dark time in their life where everything was black, where they were just like, I might as well lay down. And they had some sort of epiphany or a dream download, or an angel came to them, was just like, up you get. And that was the beginning of the end for whoever it is that sold you down the river. Because I heard water holds flipping memory. Water holds memory. So for someone here with meditation, meditate in water. Meditate when you're in the shower, even if it's deep breathing, or meditate in the bath, meditate when you go to the lake or when you go swimming. But just surrender to the divine and ask them, any messages that you feel I need to know, let me know now. And then just relax, and what comes to you will come to you, because memory holds water holds memory of what they've been doing. I'm going to leave it there. I really hope that gave you some confirmation and clarity on what you already intuitively know. If you are new to my channel and that resonated for you and you'd like to hear more and you'd like to see when I post, I would love you to hit on the like, the subscribe and the notification bell so you can see just that. And if you are a return subscriber, hearts, kisses. I'm really sorry that the lighting's gone really weird because my face has gone all pink and but I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.